cheating, speaking hate so casually. I shake my head when I see the frightening news on the TV screen. My heart cries out for pain going on behind the scenes. When bad things happen, the earth begins to shatter. Our bleeding hearts matter to the life-giving one up above. When lives are taken and children abandoned, our bleeding hearts matter to the life-giving one up above. Yeah, it's hard to believe in this modern age people still live on the streets. People struggling, crying, losing their minds because ends they cannot meet. Doors closing in the faces of those who are in desperate need. Do I use this change to pay for food, gas, heat, or shoes to put on my feet? When bad things happen, the earth begins to shatter. Our bleeding hearts matter to the life-giving one up above. When lives are taken and children abandoned, our bleeding hearts matter to the life-giving one up above. For those of us who have eyes, let us see the struggles of those who are in desperate need. Let us reset our minds, lay our differences aside. Open our
You're listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
As I open my eyes in the morning and
All right. What's up, family? What's up, family? Welcome to Positive Power 21. That's right. Double XI. That's right. We're here, y'all. It's the Lakeisha Mosley Show. That's right. Featuring Lakeisha Mosley. And our special guest tonight is Talene Harris. You know her. Big gospel voice. The singing machine herself. What's up, Lakeisha? What's up? What's up?
Hey, hi everybody. Hi Jerry, how are you doing?
I'm awesome. You ready to get the show going?
I'm ready.
All right, let me let her out of the gates. This is Talene Harris. Have a great show, ladies.
Hey, good evening to everyone.
Awesome. Hey Tulane, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much, Lakeisha. How are you this evening?
I'm doing fabulous this morning. You know, it's so funny. I was having a little bit of technical difficulties, but that just tells you that this is about to be a powerful show and that the devil is a lie and that nothing will stop us.
That's right. All right.
Yes, well, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Lakeisha Mosley Show, where we discuss those unseen and unspoken issues of life while providing inspirational guidance to win with love and understanding. Our amazing special guest is national recording artist Talene Harris. You already heard her voice, and I want her to tell a little bit about herself. Everyone pretty much know a little bit, but I want her to tell a little bit about herself currently, what's going on. Talene, let us know.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Well, I am, as you said, a recording artist, but I am also many other things. I'm a business owner, entrepreneur. I have two businesses. I am a mother. I am a wife. I am a pastor. I have been blessed to be able to act and in several stage plays and, really just expand the gifts that God has given me in the arena of entertainment and the arena of the arts. And so it's been a blessing. It's been a journey. I'm still on it. And I have met a lot of wonderful people along the way, some famous, some not so famous. But at the end of the day, as I always share, is that when people encounter me, my testimony is that I want them to know the love of God. I want them to know that, they've met a person that's genuine, that's kind, that's caring, and that, really is concerned about the things that concern God and the things that are happening in the world. So those are just a few things about me, and I'm sure as we go along in the interview, we'll be able to share more things.
Absolutely. Talene, I'm just honored to have you today because you have such a humble heart. I feel your spirit coming through the airwaves, and I'm so excited about tonight because tonight's topic is about godly connections. Oh yeah, and it's something that is very huge in my heart to discuss because we can go so many different ways when we talk about godly connections. I mean, we can talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. We can talk about the past, the present, but mainly what I want to focus on is just how it's been for you. What has been your history in godly connections? Have you noticed, who's been on your side, who you collaborated with? Is it the devil you collaborate with? Is it the Holy Spirit? Is it yourself? Me, myself, and I, sometimes we enclosed by ourselves, but, I know for sure, for me, I can talk about that all day long as far as how we feel about the connections, feel isolated, feel blocked because of history. But tell us sometimes, where you had godly connections and an experience where you felt like it was going in the direction that you wanted or not.
Yeah, wow, that is a heavy topic, Lakeisha. Being connected to the vine is the vine of God is so important. Being connected to the right vine is so important. And the best way that I can probably describe knowing whether or not you are connected to the right people in your life is that you have to look at the outcome of the fruit in your life. Is your life bearing fruit? And those that are in your life, are they helping you to bear fruit? As you said, sometimes we struggle with the inner me. We struggle with the enemy on the inside, oftentimes that can try to sabotage the things that are destined for you to obtain at a certain time. Some things can be delayed. Some things being delayed may not necessarily be a denial, but because you made a certain choice or decision, or because you were around a certain sphere of influence, it can get you to the place where you may not meet your destination at the appointed exact time maybe that God maybe wanted you to, but it doesn't always mean that you are totally delayed or denied. Sometimes it may be that your life is cut short because God sees that you won't change your heart. Your heart is bitter. It's rooted in bitterness. It's rooted in things that would prevent God from allowing you to move forward. And He sees and knows your heart because, of course, He judges your heart. So if He sees that it's not going to change, that you're going in the wrong direction, He may decide to say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to help you bow out gracefully and not even go further into a destructive, downward spiral in your life. We all have our own journey. So as you connect with people, you do have to say, is this a God connection? Or is this a fleshly connection? Is this somebody that I want to attach to because of what they have and who they are? Or is this truly something that God is connecting so that we can do something great for Him? So that's my take on it.
Wow, that is so amazing because you really spoke on different levels of your experience with it. You talked about how, the godly connections and if they're not godly connections. And, I love when you were talking about as far as, understanding if it's from God or not and learning from it. Have you ever experienced where, situations will suffocate you and, have you evaluated that value and did you learn something from it?
My goodness. Yeah, been in several relationships that I felt were very suffocating to who I was as a person. I felt like they didn't understand me. They liked all of the attributes and the things that were me, but they didn't truly understand me. So it was more of, okay, well, I want to be around her, or I want to be her friend, or I want to be married to her, I want to be connected to her in some kind of way because these are the attributes that she has that I feel like I can utilize for what I'm trying to do. And so, you have to really have a good level of discernment. And then once you see it, you have to recognize it for what it really is because as I said earlier, our hearts are very deceitful, right? So sometimes our hearts can get in the way because we have grown attached to the individual. And we say, I really don't want to let them go for whatever reason. They become a part of your heart. And so it's almost like God has to do surgery on you. And He has to say, okay, this is what's really best for you. And I promise you, you're going to get through this. It's going to be a testimony. You're going to be a living, walking, breathing miracle in some cases because some people can really get engrafted in your heart that you almost feel like it is going to take surgery because if not, you're going to have this huge hole in your heart. So those are some of the things that I have learned in my journey that I have to be very mindful of why people are connecting. And I have to have a certain level of discernment to realize and understand that, either they're connecting for good reasons or they're not connecting. They have ulterior motives. And my mom taught me early on, to always look out for those things, because the gifts that I had were at a very young age. So she knew she had to try to cultivate me in a certain way so that when those things came along, I would be able to recognize them. And then not only that, God gave me, and it's still constantly, heightening my level of discernment. Because I don't know about you, Lakeisha, but every time you go to another place in God, your discernment needs to go to another level also. Because there's going to be stuff that's coming at you that you've never seen before. And so we have to really get in a place of realizing, people say all the time, new level, new devil, that type of thing. But I think as you do progress, there are certain things that you deal with that you didn't deal with before, because now if you really have been chosen by God to do something and he says, okay, hey, this is what I want you to do, and now even more so the enemy's coming after you because he doesn't want you to reach destiny and purpose. So with that in mind, there's always going to be something that's coming that has even a more deeper plot and scheme to try to get you, to prevent you from reaching the plateaus that God has for you, because he takes you from glory to glory to glory. And so I just love the word, because the word will always tell you, if you're listening or you're looking, will illuminate your path for you.
My goodness, you really just spoke on something, and I'm speechless, and I'm excited speechless, because you are touching so many people's lives right now. We're really healing hearts right now, because a lot of times, we get confused and we don't understand, God, this is what you called me to do. I'm feeling good. Why everyone is acting a certain way? What's going on? They were in my corner first, and now they're not. And then, and then God gives you that discernment and says, daughter, I'm taking you to another level. And when you go to a different dimension, your circle, shrinks. So some people that were there for you, they can't go with you at the next level. And you spoke on that, like you said, when you experience those things, you realize you were being used either for your gifts, and then you would know that you weren't being nurtured in your gifts.
Yes, and they become a leech. It's like they're sucking the life out of you to the place that when God puts you in position, you don't have the life and the motivation and the passion and the drive and the ambition and all of the things that you need in order to push to get to where God has for you. And they're just draining you dry, and you're trying to find out why you. And it's interesting, because not only will it happen spiritually, but then it translates into the natural, right? So you start physically feeling like you're tired and lethargic and, kind of just out of sorts and not really yourself and that sort of thing. And so, we got to really know who we are, know whose we are, and protect that grace or anointing or gifting or talent or whatever you want to ... behind it. You have to protect that which God gives you, because he's looking to see if you're going to be a good steward over what he's given you.
My Lord, you said a mouthful there, and, by saying as far as protection, isn't Jesus like a protector? I always say that, I say every day, I've been saying this for years, Jesus is the ultimate entrepreneur in the world. People don't really look at him that way, but you got to understand him, how how he was with his 12 disciples. He saw their gifts. Okay, he didn't try to change them. He didn't try to make them say, what, you're not doing the right thing, or you're doing the right thing. He didn't say anything like that. He saw their gifts. He came to them and said, look, I see what you are. Like he said, to Peter, look, I know that you're the master fisherman. you got this. You got it going on. This is what you do. But he didn't tell him that I was going to transform you, but he led him and showed him insight, and his mindset opened up where, he was not only going to be a fisherman of food, but he was going to be a fisherman of men. And, I love Jesus, how he's like that. He's not only just a cultivator of gifts, but he is a coach about legacy.
Yeah.
He's always thinking, come on now, he's thinking bigger, right? So, when you thought about your gifts, and when you thought about, the people that have been in your life, not just so much negatively, but the positive people that's been in your life, when was the example where you noticed, this is a God-sent gift for me to nurture in my gift and take it to the next level?
Wow. I've had so many people along the way that have been instrumental in my life, whether it was, coaching me musically, coaching me in my life, sharing with me their pitfalls and ups and downs so that I could be, stronger in my resolve as who I was and who I am as a person. I think, gosh, there's so many people. I don't want to get into naming names because somebody might get me. You didn't call my name to name.
Yes.
But all of you know who you are. You beautiful people that have been in my life that have helped me through so many tough times, rough times, great times, happy times, joyous times. One thing I can say about my family is that they were so supportive of me growing up. I probably was one of those ones that had the biggest tribe, at events and talent shows and pageants and all that kind of stuff. Like, they always came out in droves because my mom's side, I have a really big side of the family on that side, and they were just always supportive. And that means a lot, and that's one of the things that I want to say to parents tonight, because this is on my heart as I just spoke that. God just said, just speak this also. It is so important for you to encourage your children and to let them know that they are somebody special in the world, that God has placed them in. Because if they don't feel that from you, then most of the times, 9 times out of 10, they don't get that from the world, right? So as a parent, we got to nurture our children to say, hey, you can do it. You did a great job. If you want to try something, let them try different things to kind of see where their giftings are, and then begin to help them cultivate, those gifts. And I can honestly say that my mom was that for me. She let me try any and everything, and bless her heart, I know she got tired of me dragging her all over the creation, here, there, and everywhere, this pageant, that pageant, and, this event and that event, but she was always so supportive, and she was there, whether it was taking pictures or making sure my hair was right, or we running all over to the malls, trying to find the right outfit and things like that. I mean, those are things that I can look back and say I really treasure those things because they sold into my life, and they helped me to know that I was somebody special, because the world is constantly chipping away at you and saying that there isn't something special about you. Oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes, and even those, Lakeisha, that are in the limelight or famous, and people that that you see all the time, they deal with a lot of insecurities also, even though people are shouting their names and, always, wanting to take a picture with them or say something to them or just, want to be in their presence. They go through those types of challenges also.
Wow, that is so real, and that's so transparent. Being a parent, I'm a mother of 3 boys, and 2 teenagers and 1 toddler, and I'm always, looking at them saying, God, what do you want me to teach them? And God's like, you know what, just be you. All the good, the bad experiences, all of the perceived failures, because they're learning as you're growing in your journey.
Yeah.
Growing up, I'm an inner city kid from Detroit, so I grew up around a lot of artists and a lot of people who were in the limelight, but I've seen the human side of them. A lot of times people do see people on the pulpit or people on the stage or at the award shows, and they said they're not touchable. I talk about that all the time. Sometimes you can be at a certain platform where people don't feel like you are actual humans. And,
Right.
and it's like, no, they bleed too, right? So tell me a little bit about that, like your examples about that.
Absolutely. It's interesting you should say that. I was a DMV girl. I grew up in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area, and there was a young lady. I'm not going to call her name because I don't want to call her out, but there was a young lady that was pretty well known and famous in the city. And she, had a record deal at a very young age, and she was just doing really, really well. Somebody that I looked up to. I wouldn't say idolized because I didn't at that time, because even at that age I understood that they were people just like me. They put their pants leg on one leg at a time, and I just admire the gift that they had and how they would inspire me with whatever it is that they did. And so this young lady, I had an opportunity. My mom had taken me to this little like kiddie cabaret or something, and I couldn't have been any more than about 12 or 13 years old, but this stuck with me. And I went over to her and I approached her and I said, oh, I really love your music, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, really kind of like snotty towards me, right? And I'm like, oh, my goodness, what is going on? And, I'm still trying to be, nice or whatever. And I said, well, do you mind, if I take a picture with you? She was like, oh, no, I can't do that right now. I have to go to an interview. I was like, oh, okay, well, have a good interview, I'm still trying to be polite, and I'm still trying to be respectful, even though she's dissing me big time, right?
Right.
So I learned from that later on. I was recording my first project, and her and I actually got an opportunity to talk. She was around in the studio where I was at the time. And I said, you probably don't even remember when I met you when I was younger. And I can laugh at it now. I said, because I can only imagine the type of pressure that she was under at that age and trying to figure all of that out, and the fame and the money and all of that stuff. And the interesting thing was is she really didn't want to do it. Her parents were really pushing her to do it. She loved to sing, but she didn't really want to do all of that. And so, that was a lesson to me in so many levels. Like, when people, and that's why I said it at the top of the show, when people meet you and encounter you, I could be having the worst day in the whole wide world, but you would never know it. I would be just as nice and as kind to you because I realized you came and said something to me. You didn't have to say anything to me. You didn't have to tell me how my music blessed you or how I inspired you or encouraged you or anything like that. And so I've learned not to take those things lightly or for granted, because that one encounter with someone, and it's a bad one, can spread all over the world faster than your good encounter sometimes. And so later on, like I said, I realized what she was going through. I didn't hold it against her. But you have even some artists, that are adults that carry a certain air or attitude about themselves. And I've met some really kind, sweet, generous, loving, artists that will be open to, hey, how you doing? And, sit down and talk with you. There are a few that I can probably call out. Maurette Brown Clark, she's in the D.C., Maryland area. She was really, really nice to me at the Stellar Awards. She sat and talked to me for a long time. She didn't have to do that. She could have went and sat with somebody else famous that she knew. Trying to think who else. Oh, my goodness. Not Kiki Shear, but her mom. Oh my God, why her name just went right out of my head. Karen Clarkshear. Met her at the ASCAP meet and greet. She's really, really sweet, down to earth. Talked with her for about 15 or 20 minutes. So, there are people that you encounter that are in that arena that are nice people, and they're everyday people. They just happen to have a job that they really love that causes them to be in the public eye. And so those are just some of my experiences.
That is so real. It's amazing that you mentioned Kiki Sheard and her mom, Karen Clarkshear, because, mind you, they're Detroiters. Mm-hmm. And I remember them growing up, and I remember Kiki, but she had her braces on. Mm. And I remember her mom, and I remember just how transparent and nice they were, and just how just you could feel the God in them, just not on the stage, but you felt it, personal. So, absolutely. But, I love how you said that you saw a different perspective as you began to really see them as a human, that, everyone's on their journey, and it's not personal. It was never personal. They might have been going through anything. Something could have happened, and you just happened to be in their view, right. And you just got it that day. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So isn't that awesome? Yeah. Awesome reflection, right? It's like, and it's amazing how sometimes we don't get there, and we're like, God, I need you to help me heal, because it has nothing to do with someone else. It really is just an internal reflection and perception on ourselves. But he's constantly growing us to understand that everyone needs love too, no matter what status that you're in. Mm-hmm. And I love that you pretty much said that. We are getting ready to go to a break real quick, Celine. So just hold right here for me, and we're going to go ahead and transfer to Jerry, and he's going to play some beautiful music for us real quick.
All right. This beautiful song right here is by our lovely guest, Talene. It's called Silent Night. Check it out.
Afar, Christ the Savior.
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of Double XI.
Positive Power 21.org Internet Radio.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Yes, welcome back to the Keisha Mosley Show, everyone. We are here with my amazing special guest, Celine Harris, and we are talking about this beautiful song, Silent Night. Celine, please tell us how this recreation was made, because you have a unique spin on Silent Night. I mean, I feel like it's totally better than the original.
You know, it's amazing how things just come to you and they just happen. You know, I just began to sing the beginning part of the song, and I said, you know, let's do something different. Let's do something unique. Let's not do the same traditional, you know, silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. You know, it's like I really felt like people would love to hear something different and unique, and so that's what ended up coming up with, and I'm, you know, pretty happy with the way that things turned out with the song. It is unique, like you said, I've never heard any other kind of version of Silent Night like that before. And you know, I love all of the old classics, but this is definitely a different little spin.
I truly love it, and I know the listening audience is loving it as well. It's amazing that you said that it's just a different, unique spin, because we are unique, and God always does something new in all of us, right? So isn't that just like how Jesus was? Really, what he was to all of us is that he knew we all had gifts. He knew we all had talents. He knew there was power within us all. At the same time, he said, listen, I want to take you to another dimension. I want to take you to another level. And when you're connected with him, don't you get that experience when you're connected with him?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the Father says, sing unto him a new song, you know, and not to say that the things that we record and we listen to over and over and over again and we love and we enjoy is horrible that you do that. But I think a lot of times, you know, we need to be open to what Father wants to create in you. You know, he wants to create something new. He wants to create something fresh, you know, which is one reason why I love prophetic worship, prophetic praise, because it's off the cuff and it's straight from heaven. It's a straight download, you know, from you to God, you know, from God to you. And if you're listening, he's giving you exactly what needs to be sung at that appointed time for those that are in the room. And so, you know, I guess I was introduced to prophetic praise and worship back in 2003 or 4. And it kind of reminded me of like ad-libbing, you know, at the end of a song, how you just come up with a bunch of, you know, ad-libs kind of just as you're singing along. And so it kind of reminded me of that, and then God had to take me a little deeper. He said, you know, this is what it really is. It's not ad-libbing, daughter. It is you hearing explicitly what I am speaking to you, which means that you have to have relationship with Father in order to do that. And I am using you as a prophetic voice in the kingdom so that the people can get exactly what's needed in that moment. And so it is such a blessing and an awesome experience. If I ever get a chance to kind of like, if anybody records it, to go back and listen to it, and I'm like, oh wow, Lord, like that, that was good. That was some good stuff. Like, we need to re-record that. And sometimes the Lord will say to me, no, I don't need you to re-record that. I need you to just leave that right there because it was for those people at that moment. And so, just having an ear to hear God and knowing when, to do certain things is so critical in life, period. But definitely when you're a prophetic, vessel and you're hearing the words to the song just come to you as the minstrel is just playing and, he's in groove and in sync with you as well. It's an awesome experience.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Well, I'm encouraged. I know the listening audience is encouraged, and I'm just so grateful for you. I'm so glad that you were here and just giving us such good nuggets today on godly connections and just giving us a different perspective how to look at life and look at everything that we experience and receive and hear from God truly what is the next level or what's the next step for all of us. Tilly, you have to let us know how we can connect back with you.
Absolutely, yeah. You can connect with me on social media. My Facebook is Talein Music. That's Talein, and then the word music, MUSIC. That's the same thing for Twitter. And just on Instagram, it's just Talein, Talein. Social media is probably the best way to connect with me. The interesting thing, Lakeisha, is I have a website, and I don't really use my website like I'm supposed to, and that's terrible because that's one of the things that I do for a living. But you know how we always do things for everybody else, and we forget about ourselves.
Yes, I know. True.
But if you Google me, Talein, you will also be able to, find all of my social media platforms. But that is truly the best way to reach out to me.
Amazing. Well, listening audience, I definitely encourage you to stay connected to Talein. What she has going on, she has so much great music coming out. And we encourage you to come back, Talein, definitely, and let us know anything that's happening with you, any updates that's going on with your ministry.
Yes, ma'am. I certainly will. And thank you so very much for allowing me to come on and just be a light and just shouting, out into the world some of the things that God has placed on my heart and allowed me to experience in my journey. And I'm going to continue to pray for you, as I hope that you all will pray for me. And bless you all. Thank you so much, Jerry, as well as Carlton McConnell for setting up this interview this evening. And blessings to all of you listeners. I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed and safe holiday season with your loved ones and your family. God bless you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Talein. And now we're getting ready to go to our final segment, which is called Lakeisha's Love Letter of Healing, Encouragement, and Empowerment. And we're going to go ahead and focus on the scripture in Acts 9, and we're going to focus on verses 1 through 8. I want us to really talk about Saul. A lot of times we do talk about Paul, but we don't really focus on the Saul part. Saul, on his road to Damascus, he was en route to kill, steal, and destroy more Christians. That was his driven, that was his goal. That was his journey at that moment. But he had an encounter with Jesus. And this is a different type of encounter. He had an encounter with Jesus within. Because he didn't see Jesus. He didn't physically look at him. He heard him. And I want you to really focus on that at first. Heard him. He heard the Lord Jesus Christ for the first time in a different way. And he was dead still in his tracks, as far as everything that he was doing. And Jesus asked him, what's going on? Why are you persecuting me? And, Saul just didn't understand that. So when he realized that he was really persecuting himself at the end, Jesus was teaching him something, that as you persecute others, you're really persecuting yourself. And a lot of times that we begin to judge others for our perceived impressions on them, we really don't realize that we're not really whole within. And what God really wants to talk to us about as far as, connecting with him and how we let him lead us is that all of us are on a journey. All of us connect with different people, and we sometimes take it to a different place and we expect them to be something that they're not. But really, God is really only wanting us to do an internal work within ourselves, and he wants us to understand that, listen, I am working on you daily. It's not about anything that you did bad, anything that you're doing horrible. He didn't judge Saul, but he saw the inner part of Saul. He saw Paul in Saul. And when he began to reveal that in him, and he began to allow him to begin to go fast and love himself, Paul began to be one of the biggest leaders that, that professed Jesus famous into the world. I mean, I look at Paul and I said, wow, where would have us done in life without you? So I really want you guys to begin to look at your journey now, and don't look at the past as it being over, but look at it as a lesson. Look at it as lessons that you're learning, and the connections that you are going to perceive now is going to be of value to you because of everything that you have lived. I want to encourage you to continue to live and walk by faith and not by faith, and begin to love your life, love everything that you have been through, the good, bad, and ugly, all of it, and understand that you're going to make Jesus famous in your way, in your unique way, in your gift. I want you to love yourself as I love you, totally. I love everyone that's listening, and definitely want you to stay connected. And remember, in all things that you need to do is to continue to live in wisdom, loving everything about yourself. Thank you so much.
See, Lord, I know I'm not perfect, but my heart's for you. Imperfection doesn't change the way you feel. Doesn't change the way you feel. I was born of man. Can't help that I was born into this world of sin. But now I'm here and I wanna live for you and only you. I won't let this world change my view. Sin, mercy keeps running down for me. I thank Jesus for what he did on Calvary. Yes, I was blind, but now I see. Still day by day, situations keep coming around, but I try my best to ignore the temptation of man. Lord, your will is my plan.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of Double XI.
Positive Power 21.org Internet Radio.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
my comforter, Holy Spirit, descend like a dove over water, baptize me in your love, make me over, shifter of the atmosphere, my counselor, Holy Spirit.
Holy Spirit, manifest your power, move among us, well of living water overflow. Holy Spirit, take control.
Holy Spirit,
Holy Spirit, manifest your power, move among us, well of living water overflow. Holy Spirit, take control.
everlasting, always faithful. When I'm in doubt, you're more than able to show me the way out. Director, Holy Spirit, you can make a way out of no way. You bring me back home when I'm astray. You brighten up my day, my everything, Holy Spirit.
Holy Spirit, manifest your power, move among us, well of living water overflow. Holy Spirit, take control.
Holy Spirit,
Holy Spirit, manifest your power, move among us, well of living water overflow. Holy Spirit, take control.
like a
Like a mighty rushing wind, let your presence blow within. Like an all-consuming fire, let our hearts burn with desire.
oh yeah,
Like a mighty rushing wind,
let your presence,
let your presence blow within. Like an all-consuming fire, let our hearts burn with desire. Like a mighty rushing wind,
let your presence
let your presence blow within. Like an all-consuming fire,
I want my heart to
let our hearts burn with desire. Like a mighty rushing wind, let your presence blow within.
all-consuming fire.
Like an all-consuming fire,
Let our hearts
let our hearts burn with desire. Holy Spirit, manifest your power, move among us, well of living water overflow. Holy Spirit, take control.
Take control.
Holy Spirit, manifest your power, move among us, well of living water overflow. Holy Spirit, take control.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I'm living in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Royce Live, worldwide.
That's right. You tell him, Jameson. You tell him. That's right. That's my man, Jermaine Davidson over in Dominican Republic. My man, he can make some coffee too. You got to check him out. I forgot the name of that resort we were at. But anyway, you got to check him out anyway. We'll find out where he's located at. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in right now to Positive Power, Double XI Christian Media. We are celebrating 5 years in podcasting on the 21st. I know you guys been seeing number 5 out there on our Facebook page. We are so blessed to have made it this far in radio. That's right, man. I'm telling you, it's crazy out there. You're so competitive. You got so many distractions. You got TV, you got your devices, you got social media, you got all these movies streaming. I'm just so blessed to have you guys tune in. We want to thank Lakeisha for the Lakeisha Mosley show. She just tuned in. She came in at 9 o'clock. She had Talene Harris formerly from Atlantic Star. She was she was in the secular world for a minute. And now she's a gospel star now. She'll be coming to Baltimore, to the Charm City, during a Christmas holiday to hang out with the Batman. That's right. So a couple things planned. I think she's going to be performing at the Fred Newsom Gospel Special. I think that's coming up Saturday on the 22nd. I believe it's at the Randallstown Community Center here in Baltimore County. Come on out and maybe we'll be there. Get some selfies in. So come on out and check us out. And then we're going to be performing. She's going to be performing at the Platform, brand new show that's being shot here in the Baltimore area. I think it airs on Channel 2, if I'm not mistaken, WMAR. I think that's right. I've been seeing a lot of promos. And congratulations to her. You probably see some promos out there on Talene's page, so check it out. Shout out to Brother Colton McConnell and to Sister Apostle Verl Howard. That's right, for bringing our guest. That's right, this rocking. That's right. So we got a big show coming up at 10 o'clock, and we're going to be talking to Last Call, the brothers from Bermuda. Last Call. That's right. You guys probably had a chance to meet them or seen them on the Spin Awards. I don't think we had a chance to interview them, Paula G and Shay Samuels, but we did get a chance to take some pictures with them. I haven't seen my pictures yet. I got to catch up with Amber. I think Amber got the pictures, if I'm not mistaken, or Apostle got the pictures. Somebody got them, but I haven't seen them yet. But anyway, we got a chance to take some pictures with us, brother. They doing that thing over in Bermuda. They've been traveling to USA, doing their thing, and of course their music, I believe some of their music has been produced by Dark Child Entertainment. If you remember the brothers Rodney and Fred Jerkins, they are super duper producers. They have some super big hits. I think some of the big names, let me shoot out some of the names to you right now so I don't have to waste time talking about it. That's right, Fred Jerkins III. He's an accomplished songwriter, producer, born and raised in South Jersey. He has worked with an exceptional collection of A-list artists, including Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Beyonce, Brandy, Destiny Child, Mary J. Blige, Jennifer Lopez, Toni Braxton, Kirk Franklin, and Yolanda Adams, just to name a few. He's received over 21 Grammy nominations, 5 Grammy wins, and several Dove Award nominations and wins. His work have always been receiving considerable amount of gold, platinum, multi-platinum awards totaling over $200 million in sales worldwide. Okay, we talking to a millionaire. So he do a whole lot of stuff. So he's a member of a very musical family, and of course his heart it goes out in many places. So we're gonna get a chance to talk to him, find out what projects he up to right now. So let's find out who's on the show right now, because I know we're supposed to talk to the brothers from Bermuda and Fred Jerkins. All right, who's on the line? 441. You talking to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide, aka the Batman of Charm City. Who we talking to?
441 is Bermuda. Last call. We are here.
Last call. What's going on, guys? All right, guys. Now, I didn't get a chance to read your bio because I thought Fred was coming on first. But tell everybody a little bit about yourselves, man. Take your time and take turns and just tell the audience who are you guys? Who is Last Call? Who are you?
All right. Well, Last Call consists of 2 Bermudian men by the names of Chakray and Adrian. We've been established for 3 years now. We launched in August of 2015. We have one debut album out entitled 10,000. We also, and our current single right now is entitled Victory, which has been climbing the charts, which we have been blessed with, and that has been produced by none other than Fred Jerkins of Dark Child Gospel. It's on his latest album entitled A Project of Healing.
Amen. Wow. So you said your first names was Chakray and Adrian?
Yeah, it's Chakray.
Chakray. Okay, that's with a T.
Chakray, yeah.
All right, Chakray.
Like Trick and Ray. Chakray.
All right. So give us a little background about you, Chakray. You go first, man. Tell us a little bit about your background, before you got into music. Did you graduate from high school, college? You got your own church? Tell us a little bit about your background.
All right, so my background is I always loved music. I always loved singing in choirs and praise teams. But it really wasn't until the age of 16 that I took it serious. And so once I discovered that this is something that I wanted to do, I wanted to pursue a career in Christian and gospel music, I went to a school called Full Sail University, and I graduated there with my bachelor's in music business and my associate's degree in recording arts. And then I interned at my church out there. It was a mega church called Faith World underneath Bishop Clint Brown. And, I did his music because he was a singer and all that. So I did his publishing for a little bit. And then eventually I came back home and I worked on a solo project. So I did that. That came out, I think, in 2010. And then, I traveled a little bit, did a tour, and then I eventually went to work for the church in Orlando full-time. I did that for about a year as a worship pastor. And now I'm back in Bermuda as a creative art kind of minister of music at my local church here. And, I joined last call, and, we met up with Apostle Vero Howard. Shout out to her. And, the rest is history. And so that's pretty much my journey in a nutshell. I absolutely love what I get to do, and I love singing with Adrian. Wouldn't have it any other way. The gift of music is so precious, and I'm just so grateful that God has entrusted me with this gift.
That's right. So, that's right. So how long you say you guys been performing together?
Well, we've been officially a duo for 3 years, for 3.5 years, but we've been singing together probably for maybe like close to 10 years, because we went to the same church for a bit, and we sang on the same praise team, and Bermuda's very small, so we sing a lot together in praise teams and groups and things like that.
That's right. So you guys together all the time, man. So y'all like brothers then, best friends, all that good stuff.
That's
all
right.
Yeah, you gotta. I know you got some great stories to tell us. That's right about them trips, right? That travel. All right. So Adrian. So Adrian, my man Adrian, I got a chance to meet you. I don't know if you guys remember meeting me at the Spin Awards. The Batman was on the red carpet with you guys towards the end of the show. I know it was a lot of lights was flashing, the cameras and the selfies and all that stuff. So you probably don't remember because there was a lot going on that night. But tell us a little bit about yourself, man. You remember? Yeah, good.
Okay, yeah, we remember. I actually saw a picture today of us. It was a video of us. You gave us a shout out and everything. I think Apostle was holding the camera as you was giving us a shout out and stuff like that. So yeah. I was able to refresh my memory with your face. So, yeah.
I gotta go check out her page then, because I didn't see any of that stuff. All right, awesome, man. Good for her, man. I told her she gotta get herself a brick, because I know sometimes she run out of power and she running around looking for electricity. Well, a little power cord.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's always busy.
That's right. Very nice lady. Very sweet. Very friendly too. In fact, she's a homegirl. That's right. DC. Baltimore, man, we neighbors, That's what we do, man. Look out for each other. DMV in the house, all this talent. That's right. All right. So, Adrian, tell us a little bit about your background, man, and where you come from, and what's your, why you love the lure so much in the music that you're putting out there.
Of course. So, as far as my music career, I started singing when I was about 5 or 6 years old. I got my first solo in front of hundreds of people here in Bermuda at an event called Camporama, where all the summer day camps come together to do one big concert in the park. And I had the opportunity to sing in front of those people. And I was encouraged by the director at one of the rehearsals, and he told me that I had a gift and a good voice. He approached me and asked if I wanted to do the solo. And from that day forward, I haven't stopped singing. I've been in different choirs. I was in the Cathedral Boys Choir as a young boy, which helped develop my voice. I was in school choirs and different things like that. As I got older, as a teenager, I didn't necessarily grow up in church. I did go Sunday school, but once I got to the age of accountability, I guess I decided not to attend anymore. So the path, right? So the path that I took, I pretty much in my teens, I did R&B. I did some reggae as well here in Bermuda. Reggae is huge on the island. So I did that when I was 19 years old. Is when I gave my heart to the Lord. I haven't looked back since. I went to Valor Christian College in Columbus, Ohio, where I studied music ministry.
Oh, wow.
I came back here. Actually, while I was out there, I did a little bit of touring with a group out there. Our name was Fourth Day. We toured with Twinkie Clark. We did a few venues with her. And I came back to Bermuda,
And just fast forward a few years later, Chakray and I got the go-ahead from God to become Last Call. And here we are today talking to you on this great
That's right. On Positive Power, Double XI Christian Media, ladies and gentlemen. We talking the Last Call. We got Chakray, right, and Adrian. So I'm saying that right.
You got it.
All right, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Adrian, I got to ask you, man. Did you really come back? Because was it the weather? Because I know it's tricky out there in Ohio, man. That snow and that 10 degrees.
Well, no, it definitely wasn't the weather. I actually didn't mind it because I've been used to sunshine, sunshine and beach and sand and stuff like that. So I like the difference. It honestly, God really told me to come back. And I was struggling with it for a while because I was doing so well out there with the group that I was a part of. But I heard God loud and clear. He wanted me to come back, and I can see why now. Why he ordered me to come back. That's
right. Now, I'm just going to put a little spin on this. Sometimes, the change of weather doesn't help, man, hurt at all. Because, you think about the fashion. Man, those winter fashion, man, can blow your mind, man. You get a chance to, what was your favorite outfit during the winter, man? Did you have a favorite leather jacket, pair of boots, jeans? What was your favorite outfit when you were living out there? Your go-to?
My favorite outfit, it's funny you asked me that because I do like fashion. My favorite outfit, I had these black above the ankle Levi boots, all black, Swedish looking. I had some black joggers, nice fit of black joggers. I always put on, just a regular t-shirt. I didn't have leather jackets, but I had more snow jackets, honestly, during the winter.
Okay.
I had I got really cold. My body was not accustomed to that temperature.
Yeah.
But I put on a nice little hoodie or something like that. Maybe a nice little jacket or something like that. And a nice ski hat or a little fitted hat or something like that. So you can dress, like you said, you can dress in the winter. Yeah,
that was one of the things that got us through the winter here in the Northeast, like Baltimore, New York, is because you look forward to putting on that favorite jacket, that favorite coat, and especially the fall season is one of the better seasons. Even though now we starting to experience a lot of windstorms for some reason, but I mean when I was growing up, man. September, October, November. I mean, that was like our favorite time of year. For one, American football was happening, and then of course, you was going into the World Series and stuff in September and October. So it was a lot of excitement during that period. So you didn't mind throwing on that favorite college hoodie, like you mentioned, hoodie, and maybe that favorite lightweight leather jacket. Back in the day, I get like the 80s and 90s, we had some really nice leather shops. I'm not sure where they all went today. I think you have to go to Georgetown and DC to find, in New York probably to find really nice leather. But we used to wear butter leather or the sheepskin. And man, it was just so fun. And like you said, the hats, now you got so many variety of different hats you can wear now, for men.
Yeah.
I guess because so many people are bald. There's a lot of men that's bald now. So you got to find that favorite hat. So what about you, Chakray? Were you able to live out in the north? Did you live in the north a little bit? You get a check because I know you mentioned Florida, so you didn't. Did you come north?
I lived in sunny Florida, Orlando, Florida, and I also lived in Port St. Lucie, so it was hot.
It was super hot. Super hot. So what was your go-to outfit? While you were living in Florida, what was your favorite?
When I first got to college, I used to do the whole preppy boy look. So I used to like lightly pastel colored polo shirts and shorts and, loafers, that whole thing. And then maybe, I don't know. Yeah, so always something summery looking. Yeah.
Yeah. So you was hanging around, the waterfront and all that kind of stuff, right? I hear you.
Yeah. And the beaches.
Yeah. All right, so you guys had a chance to hang out in Atlanta, man. So what did you guys think of Atlanta, man? That's where everything is happening. That's like Black Hollywood. In your own words, Chakray, tell us about your experience in Atlanta, the short time you got a chance to hang out. And D.C. too, because it's pretty much the same thing, Chocolate City. Tell us a little bit about it.
Right. So you know what? Atlanta is definitely a go-to place for Bermuda. I'm not going to lie, kind of like the more slow-paced kind of stuff. So it is very fast-paced. But there's a lot of opportunities in Atlanta. And so a lot of churches and a lot of gospel artists live out there. The radio is phenomenal where you guys are. So it's, we've had some cool experiences like that. But, so for career-wise, it's awesome. But to live, I probably like, more country, kind of low pace
Mhm.
kind of place. Because Bermuda's very slow paced, very islandy, that whole
Yeah.
thing.
That's right. That's right. Now, I haven't had a chance to visit the Bermuda. I think my brother did, but my wife and I, we spent a lot of times in the Bahamas. Now, so tell us a little bit about, what's the difference? Being, what's that, Bahamian versus, you said, Bermudian? What's the difference in your own words?
There's a big difference. Well, actually, Bermuda is actually not a part of the Caribbean, period. The Caribbean
okay.
Sea. We're actually north. So
Mhm.
if you go to North Carolina and go straight across, like Cape Hatteras,
Right.
North Carolina, we are on the same longitude as that. We're
Ah.
700 miles out. So the Caribbean is much further down, like by Florida, that.
So you guys not colonized by the British then, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. So who would
Well,
you?
we
So who you under? So who you colonized under? Not America, right? Not the U.S., right?
no, Britain.
Oh, Britain. Okay.
Britain.
Oh, you're under Britain. Okay.
So we respect Britain, like she's our queen, yeah.
All right. So so the Queen, you're under the ruling of the Queen.
Yes, yeah. We can live in the UK freely if we wanted to.
That's right. That's right. So is college free? Can you attend the universities, or do they have community colleges, like 2-year schools?
Here in Bermuda, we have one college that you can attend. It's not free. It actually used to be free for a few years.
Wow.
It's not free anymore. But as far as the UK, I think it would be cheaper for us to go to school in the UK rather than the States,
Right.
because
absolutely.
we would get the same benefits as the locals in the UK.
Mhm.
So a lot of students, once they graduate from high school here in Bermuda, they would go to the UK and reap from the benefits that you would get from being a UK citizen.
That's
So
right.
it is cheaper for us to attend
That's right.
UK college.
Now, is it? Do you see a lot of your classmates? Do they come back, or they just make a life from the UK? What do you see? When you come home.
I would say both, but I think majority of them would come back. You would see them here, or some people would just leave and try out the UK for a few years, and then you might see them come back. Some of our classmates or friends have also gone to the States and stayed in the States. Bermudians are world travelers. We travel
wow.
a whole lot.
Not
We do a
afraid
whole
to
lot of
travel.
vacationing, and at times we do relocate. But I think the majority of people do end back up on the island eventually.
Yeah, awesome. I'm about to look now. You got me interested, and now I'm going to go to YouTube and look up the lifestyle. Living in Bermuda, and check it out. All right, because for what we really know about it here in the States growing up is we used to always hear this thing about the Bermuda Triangle. So what's the myth behind that? Is it true or fiction? Or myth or facts?
I don't know. That things definitely went missing. That's for sure. But really, the Bermuda Triangle is made up of 3 countries. I guess they call it the Bermuda Triangle because Bermuda's at the top of the triangle. So the 3 points of the triangle are Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico. So there's the 3 points that make the triangle. And they say within that body of water, within that area, that's where the kind of paranormal, quote-unquote, activity took place. But I think what it was probably something to do with the magnetism in that area that made compasses go kind of haywire. And so what happens is, if you think you're going north, but something happens to your compass, you start to go south, you're just flying and flying and flying and run out of gas and then crash. Or same thing with cruise ships. They might have been going around in a circle till they ran out of gas, and then that's the end of that. So, but now I think everything's okay because we've flown through it many of times, and we're okay. So,
yeah, man. You used to hear so many stories about what happened to those planes. Was it some type of magnet that was pulling them down, or was it something in the sky just disabled the electronics of the plane, or was it a monster? It was like we used to hear so many stories, and I think most of those stories were like really strong in the 80s. We used to hear those stories. Yeah. Wow. All right, man. Well, we ready to hear some music. I played a little bit of earlier, but we're gonna jump right to your song. Now, I know "Victory" is your big hit. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Adrian? About "Victory" and how did that develop with you guys?
Definitely. "Victory" came about just over a year ago. Last November, we were getting ready here in Bermuda for a concert entitled Gospel versus Cancer, where we were raising funds for Bermuda Cancer and Health here in Bermuda. And so we were putting together a set list for the concert. We were closing this show because we were putting the concert on. Chakray, in his worship time with God, he began to hear a chord progression, and as he began to play, the words began to come to him. By the hands of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. So basically, God gave him those songs and that melody. He came over to my house, and he played it for me. And as soon as he played it, actually, there was a song that was chosen to do at the concert. But when he played that song, I said, forget that song that we had planned to do. Let's do this song. And the concert was about 2 weeks away.
Wow.
Right? So it was crunch time. There was a new song that was just presented, and it was phenomenal. So when he played it for me, I helped him put on the back end of the song. I got my joy back. I got my peace back. I got my hope. I got my strength. And we were looking to add more to the song, but we just couldn't. And it was perfect in the way that it was. That's the way that God had given it. So we left it like that. We taught it to our band. We taught it to our singers. We did it that night at the concert, which Fred Jerkins actually had been attending. We brought him into to that concert. He heard the song. He approached Chakray afterwards and asked what we were doing with the song. We said, we just wrote it about 2 weeks ago. He said, and he told us, I want that song on my compilation album. And we didn't know that he was making a compilation album. And we also didn't know that album, that all the sales from that album would be going towards fighting cancer there in the States as well. So we could definitely see that God was aligning our steps. So a few weeks later, we flew to Atlanta to Fred's studio. We cut the song, and then eventually he made the song one of the singles of the album. And here we are sitting today, and we're number one on the indicator chart.
Ooh.
And I believe it's safe to say we're number 10 on the national airplay and 10 on media base.
Yes,
so
yes.
God has been blessing Last Call and Fred Jerkins. Once more, we want to shout out to Fred Jerkins and Apostle Varel Howard. Our team, we love them. They love us.
Amen. And we're supposed to have him on the call soon, so we're still waiting for him to call him if he's going to join us. Let's check it out, man. This is called Victory, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking the Last Call, Chakray and Adrian. Here we go. The brothers from Bermuda.
Now we're here to encourage you to walk into your new season, a season of freedom and a season of victory. Here it is. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. Adrian, won't you help me sing it? By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. We're gonna sing that again. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. Oh, I think you got it now. Come on, lift it up. By the hand, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. Oh, said I'm walking in victory. Said I'm walking in victory. Walking in victory. Got my joy back. Oh, I'm walking in victory. Said I'm walking in victory. I'm walking in victory. Got my peace back. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed and delivered. Now I'm walking in victory.
right, that one was called Victory by Last Call. We talking Chakray. That's right, we talking Chakray and Adrian. All right, guys, that was hot. That was hot. All right, look like I think your producer's on the line. Let's check him out and see if it's the producer, the super producer from Dark Child Entertainment, Fred Jerk. Is that you, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are you?
Amen. God is good, sir. Thank you for joining us right here on Late Night with Jerry Royce Live Worldwide. All right, we just finished listening to Victor. Those guys just finished giving you a whole bunch of praise, and they gave us a story behind that. You want that song to be part of what you was doing. So in your own words, sir, tell us a little bit about yourself. Of course, we know about you reading, what's on the internet, but tell us in your own words, who is Fred Jerkins? Who is he, the third?
Well, Fred Jerkins first is a man of God, a true believer.
Amen.
Family man, businessman, husband, father, a songwriter, producer. Been doing this for 20 plus years now, man. Been a long time. God has truly, truly blessed my wife in his business. So that's that's me.
Amen.
That's me.
Amen.
To make it ball up in a nutshell.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, you did. You definitely put it in a nutshell. But we did pull your bio up, and we did tell people that you had worked with some of the greats: Brandy, Destiny Child, Mary J. Blige, Jennifer Lopez. Oh man, we love some Jennifer Lopez around here. Tony Braxton, Kirk Franklin, Yolanda Adams. 21 Grammy nomination, 5 Grammy. I know sometimes the nomination. I mean, I know for me, I love being nominated. Of course, it's always great when you get that pat on the back, but tell us, Fred, in your own words, man, how does it feel when people recognize, your special gift and you rewarded, for that?
It's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, naturally as a songwriter and a producer, I guess you get limited to what you can get. Your songs can receive awards, and the artists a lot of times will take the trophies home, so a lot of times as a writer or producer, you're left getting, a certificate, which is still great. It's still awesome just to be that winner, but it's something different when you get the trophy. You know what I'm saying? I got trophies. I got Dove Awards and Grammys, man, and the trophy, getting that trophy as a whole. It's a great feeling. Such a great feeling, man. But being nominated is always awesome. You don't win all the time. Again, 21 to 5 is, I guess it ain't a bad ratio. But again, the win feels very, very good. Yeah, so I'm looking for some wins with Last Call coming soon.
That's right, man. I love those guys. It was so fantastic meeting those guys. A lot of great spirit in them. Great spirit. So what attracted you to them, man, when you saw those guys and heard their music?
Well, you know what? I mean, I don't know if they told the story earlier, but they brought me to Bermuda last year, not too far from where we are this time. Mm-hmm. And they put on an event called Gospel versus Cancer, which was truly amazing. And, it just really highlighted a lot of the local talent there, which was great. And the guys, they just put on an amazing show. Yeah. So it was awesome to be there to experience that. And then when they performed Victory that night, I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. It was amazing. It ministered to me big time. It fit the project, and man, we talked afterwards, and look where we're at today. A year later, it's just crazy. I know. It just shows that it was meant to be and God ordained.
That's right. Now, Fred, now you and your brother, you guys are known to be, super producer, have your own production company. For people who have the aspiration to own their own, man. I mean, how does that feel, man? Being so successful with that. I mean, was that your brainchild, or did you guys purchase that production from somebody? The company.
What, as far as what?
Or Dark Child Gospel, Dark Child Entertainment.
No, that was that's ours. We didn't purchase it, which is our creation. It started off with Dark Child. Dark Child Entertainment was, again, the first company which we started that to do a lot of, all the mainstream acts. Mm-hmm. And I think in 2006 is when I started Dark Child Gospel. And I started with a group called Virtue. Mm-hmm. They were the first act. I did an album called Testimony, and it's been a blessing. My father really has guided all the steps of our careers, really from day one, and been he's a pastor, bishop in Jersey, been pastoring for 50 years, and he's known in the industry as the Rev. That's what everybody would call him, the Rev. But God has really given him such great wisdom, and he would maneuver our careers the right kind of way, man. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing to have Dark Child Gospel and be able to be a blessing to the kingdom as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, you guys are a blessing to young people, anybody out there who's in music. And they just, you know how some people, their thought process just stop at being a musician, but you guys went past that, man. So basically, what it kind of inspired you to want to go into the production, you know, working with other artists and seeing their music vision become, you know, big?
Well, you know what? Early on, really as a teenager, I would do a lot of local talent. You know, doing demos for local talent. I had actually recorded an album with Rodney called Rodney Jerkins and Friends. Actually, I was singing on that thing. I don't know what made me think I could sing, but I was singing on that project. Rodney was rapping and singing, and did an album with my uncle. So that was like the beginning stages, and you find out quickly that you love it. You know, then from there, you just started working with, you know, major artists. It just got bigger and just exploded after a while. Yeah. You know, so now, you know, after working with everybody, looking from Michael Jackson on down, it's a very great feeling when you can reach back and grab somebody like a Last Call and watch them and expose them to the world and just watch it blow up right literally in front of my face. It's crazy. So the song is doing wonderful, and the guys are amazing, and they're all over the place singing. It's crazy. They were just here in the States for 5 weeks, and boy, they work every single day. It's crazy.
I know. That got to be a wonderful feeling.
The guys.
Yeah, I'm saying they got to be a wonderful feeling for you. Now, one thing that a lot of people like to know sometimes is like the origin. You know, when did the dominoes start falling your way? Like, who was that first artist that kind of set it off for Dark Child? That now everybody want to work for you or work with you?
Well, you know what really, I mean, the big change, the change of events, when it all changed for us really was, we did a record with Brandy and Monica called The Boy Is Mine. Mm-hmm. And that song went #1 on the pop and R&B charts for 13 consecutive weeks. And after that, the phone was bananas. It just never stopped at that point. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, you know, with a history of just, our goal was always to go and write and produce singles for artists. So you would always have the singles that were played on radio. So that was always the goal. And then a lot of these singles were going right to the top of the charts. So it just kept the phone ringing nonstop. But the Brandy Monica, The Boy Is Mine that was a game changer right there.
Mm-hmm. That was the game changer. Yeah. Everybody want to work with you now. That's right. Now, of course, the big question is, because my favorite, and I used to get in trouble during the Christmas holiday every Christmas because I spent hours playing Beyonce's DVD, not just the album. I was playing the DVD. And my wife was like, do we have to watch that again? Like, every time somebody walk in the door, I said, come on, y'all, we got to go watch Beyonce. What was it like working with Destiny Child? What was that like?
Wow. Amazing talents, man. Just like if you figure we started with Say My Name, which that's why I got that trophy in there for best R&B song. Say My Name was, you know, let me tell you what happened with that. So basically their album was out and was kind of pretty much done with sales. You know, you watch an album will comes out strong, kind of just fades away in sales. But when Say My Name came out, we watched the album sales just skyrocket back up and was selling over 100,000 units a week. It was insane. It was insane. So that was a very great experience. And then working with the girls, we worked back with them a few times again after that, and then with Beyonce as a solo artist as well. And they're just workers, and they know what they want, and they come in and get the job done. It's amazing.
I know, man.
Yeah. And great girls, you know.
Yes,
great girls. Still get to get and see them and see Beyonce and at her concerts. I just was with probably about a year and a half ago. She was down here in Atlanta, and amazing. She's just amazing.
Powerful testimony. Yeah.
Out all the time.
Powerful testimony. And people don't realize that when they first came out on Star Search, they didn't win. Is
that crazy?
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
I bet you go back and look and see who that winner was. It's like, where are they?
Wow. Right. Exactly.
Incredible. Wow. Man, shout out. What a powerful testimony. All right, tell you what, we're going to go ahead and listen to one of these powerful songs by Last Call. This one right here is called Sinner's Song. Adrian, you want to tell us a little bit about this one, man, the story behind this one?
Sure. Sinner Song was actually written, I would like to say, maybe close to 9 to 10 years ago. This is a song that I actually wrote when I first got saved when I was 19 years old. I was making the transition from doing a whole lot of mess to living righteous and holy for God.
Mm-hmm.
And there were certain things that I just could not shake, and certain things I had to go in and pray about and fight and ask God to remove from me. So a lot of these lyrics, this song, I actually used to sing this song to God almost every day as my prayer to Him. And that's pretty much what it is. To be honest with you, it's a prayer to God. And I think everybody that's made that transition to getting saved and to accepting Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, right. That they could apply this to their life.
All right, amen. All right, we about to listen to Sinner Song by Last Call. We talking to Tracray, Adrian, and Fred Jerkins III himself from Dark Child's Entertainment. Here we go by Last Call.
See, Lord, I know I'm not perfect, but my heart's for you. Imperfection doesn't change the way you feel. Doesn't change the way you feel. I was born of man. Can't help that I was born into this world of sin. But now I'm here and I wanna live for you and only you. I won't let this world change my view. Sin, mercy keeps running down for me. I thank Jesus for what He did on Calvary. Yes, I was blind, but now I see. Still day by day, situations keep coming around, but I try my best to ignore the temptation of man. Lord, your will is my plan.
You're listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
All right, family, thanks for tuning in on Spreaker Radio International Podcast. Shout out to all our men and women overseas on our Christian bases doing their thing, serving our country. Thank you, everybody. Let's keep them in prayer and out of harm's way. All right, we're talking to Mr. Fred Jerkins III. We got last call with Shakray and Adrian from Bermuda. All right, guys. Now, I know one thing that's been real important to your heart, and it's this big benefit that you guys have been donating a lot of the money from proceeds from this album to. Fred, you want to tell us a little bit about? Because I know it's kind of dear to your heart. This project.
You say my name?
Yeah, Fred. Yeah, Fred. Is Fred still there? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, I'm here. Yep. So, So for me, this project is a project of healing. It was a body of work that I actually started in 2014. That was the start of it. Again, near and dear to my heart. First wife passed away from breast cancer in 2006. And knew I wanted to. A few years later, knew I wanted to do a project that would benefit cancer awareness as well as families dealing with the financial, struggle and burden that comes with it. Started in 2014 and had to stop a few times along the way because it was an emotional ride trying to get through it. And thank God we got to it last year. Last year we released the first single from the project, which is a song called "We Won" by Jonathan Nelson. And then paused again after that. And so this year was the timing for it. And I'm excited. We released this project was released September 28th. The single came out, Victory came out in June, and here we are in December with a song. I don't know if the guys know yet, but we're number one again this week.
Wow.
And number 10 on two of the other charts as well. So it's growing and going well, man.
It is.
God has really been blessing it. So it's exciting to see, the results from the labor, and just can't wait to really be a blessing to people from the benefits of this project.
Yes, yeah, and that is a big heartache to families, especially not just the emotional part, but the financial part of it is because a lot of people don't know about the resources that's available through a lot of the foundations. It's not like you guys really promote it and advertise it. They probably won't hear about it until Breast Cancer Awareness Month comes up. So how would somebody find out how to? Now, is it available to people in the States or just in Bermuda?
Well, the project is actually online on all digital outlets. So it's Fred Jerkins Presents, a project of healing. I'm sure if you type my name, but type in last call, the album should pop up. Yep, and it's available everywhere.
All right, so people can be part of that. That's right, that benefit. All right, so for like families who are looking for some financial help, are there resources out there for families that need help? They lost a loved one, and they have the bills that's piling up. One income, that kind of loss.
So yes, so that is part of what we're looking to do from that. Once this album builds with sales, which we just released, so it's still fairly new. So as soon as the resources are available for that, so people got to buy the album. Buy.
Buy the album. That's right.
Yes, so it will be available for people, anywhere in the world. There's no limit to where that will be possible. There will be information on that on FredJerkins.com. Okay. That's where you'll be able to find out that information. So,
amen. All right, God is good. Bless you.
If you're that person you need, definitely lock in FredJerkins.com, and you'll see it pop up on there.
That's right. Awesome. Now, Fred, I've been reading your bio, and it's talking about you developing some TV projects. Is this your first time getting involved with TV, or was this is a first time for you?
Yes, it is. It is the first time from this side, yeah. I mean, I've been involved with doing music, for film. But this will be my first time, taking a role as a producer on TV and film as well.
Wow,
so,
wow.
Pray for me.
It's right, amen.
It's a new territory, but I believe in God's going to open up some great things.
So are you looking at developing it? I mean, can you talk about it a little bit? Like, is it like a gospel genre, Christian, or was TV, talk show? Where are we? Still new.
It's in development. I'm not supposed to talk too much about it. let me say this: there's definitely some faith-based stuff as well.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because the people always looking for something to do. Now, we have a lot of independent gospel artists that listen to the show, and a lot of times they always waiting to hear that magic, that word to help them out with their vision, that inspiration. So what can you tell them, as far as like stick with it, hang in there? What words of inspiration you give somebody?
I definitely say, basically you said right there, stick with and hang it. I mean, at the end of the day, I think you have to be steadfast and believe in yourself enough to continue no matter what obstacles come in front of you. I mean, a lot of times people feel that, they'll give up before their time is in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Some people want it real fast. They think it's easy. Nothing's easy. There's some people that push 15, 20, 25 years, and then it finally happens for them. So I think it's real important to stay focused. And if you know that God has blessed you with this gift, I mean, stay focused and go for it.
That's right.
Be tenacious and get it. And God will eventually open that door. I mean, some people it happens fast for. Some people, last call. I mean, how long was it for you guys? 3 years that y'all been together?
3 years, yeah.
Yep. 3 years.
So that's extremely fast. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then there's others don't have the same testimony. Some people, it's 20 years later. So you can't give up on your dream. Keep going. And if it's God meant, it will happen.
That's
it
right.
will happen.
So Fred,
I encourage everybody to keep going.
Yeah, because I was gonna say you're really encouraging somebody out there. I mean, it's like who you really speaking to. Like would you say someone is in their 50s and 60s, don't give up? There's still room for you. Someone that's around, because Adrian and the Tricray, they're young guys, and look, you found them, you discovered them. What would you say to somebody that's in their 40, 50, and 60s and they still banging on the concrete, still doing small churches, storefronts, festivals, parks? What would you say to them?
Well, this is what I say. I say, you know what? You never know what can happen. You never know what can happen. A friend of mine just produced an album for one of my father's friends. Right? So she is 77 years old.
Oh.
She just recorded her album. And let me tell you the crazy part about it. I was back home in Jersey for the recording, and I actually really enjoyed the recording. It was great. It was produced in a way that it worked for her. It wasn't. I mean, she's a youthful 77-year-old. Yeah. She get around. I might have saw her on. They had a video clip out of it. She was shouting somewhere, and they turned it into a meme, which is crazy. It was funny, but again, the album was produced the right way. Mm-hmm. Again, I think if you're 77 years old, you might be limited how much touring you're going to do. So you might not be able to go on the road like last call for 30 days, 35 days straight to 39 cities. That might not happen. But it just goes to show that, her dream became reality at 77 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So it just goes to show, don't give up.
That's right. That's right.
And understand the parameters. You might not be the next Yolanda Adams at 70-something years old, but you can still live your dream and possibly record an album, have something out there. But just do it the best that you can do.
That's right. Do it for God. That's right. You never know what doors will open up. That's right. With these new TV shows and these movies coming out, you could be part of a soundtrack. You just never know.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hang in there. That's right.
You know what? Maybe we'll create we might need to create a show. 50, 60, 70.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And go out and find all these 50, 60, 70-year-old artists out here.
That's right.
That's something new.
And they out there, too. They are out there. All right.
There's talent. Absolutely.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap up the show. I really appreciate you guys joining us here on Positive Power WXI, helping us celebrate 5 years in podcasting and live streaming right here on Spreaker Radio, iTunes, Spotify, and iHeart. So we really appreciate you guys being part of this celebration. And thank you, Apostle, bro, for making this happen. All right, before you guys go, we want you guys to give our people some words of encouragement, some inspirations, and, a little pat on the back for hanging in there. All right, we're going to start with you, Mr. Jacray. Tell us, give our people some encouragement. Amen.
Yeah, I just want to encourage everyone to that has listened to listen, especially to what Uncle Fred was saying, that you are an artist. You just got to dig deep. That's all we did. We got serious about it, and get serious about your call. Invest into the call of the Lord that He has placed, whether it be singing or acting or starting a business, whether it be starting a drive-through, a restaurant, a hotel. Just make sure that whatever He has called you to do, you get educated in it. You go to workshops and seminars about it, and you dig deep. Make sure that you speak into your pastor and keep him covered and pray and set up a prayer team and all that. Just do what you got to do. Be encouraged. Remember, you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. And if God be for you, no one can be against you. And so stay prayed up. You will definitely fail a little bit. You will definitely endure some challenges. But if it's truly God's will and if you have that desire, you will persevere.
That's right. God is good. Oh, man, love that. All right, Mr. Adrian, your words of encouragement to our listeners.
Definitely. I just want to encourage each and every person out there or aspiring artists to just be you. God has created you to be you. So that's what you need to do. You need to be you. Nobody can be you better than you can. And if you are not you, then whatever God destined for you to do is now void in the world. He's given you a gift, a plan, and a purpose. And if you don't do it, nobody else can. So stick to the plan that God has given you. Be authentically who God has called you to be. And the sky's the limit with that.
That's right. Amen. Man, love that. Wow. Great advice. All right, Mr. Jerkins, your words of encouragement, sir. You gave us so many. One more.
Yes. You know what? All I can say is, I guess to sum it up, listen, when all else fails, God will prevail. Keep God first, and the sky is the limit.
That's right.
Just keep Him first, and listen, anything is possible.
That's right. Amen. Thank you so much, guys, for helping us celebrate 5 years in radio. This has been an honor and a privilege to have all three of you here on Positive Power XXI Christian Media. We wish you guys the best, and we will keep you in prayer and keep doing what you're doing and keep inspiring our people. Amen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Amen. That was Fred Jerkins and Last Call, Tracray and Adrian out of Bermuda. They still travel. You guys still traveling in the U.S.? Where can people see you guys? Real quick.
We will be in, is it D.C.? We're going to be in D.C. It's not D.C. It's right next to D.C. Baltimore, Maryland.
Are you coming to Baltimore? Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on New Year's Eve, we'll be at Crossover Church with Pastor Say.
All right, I'll be there then. I'm going to have to come hang out with y'all then. It's Batman to be there.
At 8 o'clock.
Hey, man, coming to Charm City. So have you guys had a chance to taste the food in Baltimore and D.C. yet? Because I know y'all been in D.C.
Yes, we have been to D.C. And we've been to Baltimore as well.
That's right. So you had the crab cakes? Did you get the crab cakes? You got to tell me. You didn't get them yet? All right, you got to come back.
No, we have.
Yeah, you gotta check.
They don't know what they missed.
Yeah, boy. See,
we're gonna try it this time.
That's right, man. You gotta come. Yeah, GMs and any of the places in downtown. Well, make sure you don't get lost, but use your GPS.
Oh yeah.
Stay close to the waterfront. Right. Whatever you do, stay close to the water. You can't go wrong. All right, guys. We appreciate y'all, man. And thank you so much again for joining us right here on Positive Power XXI. Late Night with Jerry was live worldwide. All right, before you go, guys, did you feel the power? Did you feel the power?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Fred said he felt the power. Tracray, did you feel the power?
I felt the power.
He felt the power. Adrian, did you feel the power? He felt the power. All right, Fred, tell me one more time, Fred. Did you feel the power?
I felt the power.
He felt the power. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for joining us right here on Positive Power XXI. You catch us on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and again, Spreaker Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing this file. I'm Jerry Royce live worldwide on Positive Power XXI. I'm Batman of Charm City, baby. So come join us and hang out with me, y'all, and get some crab cakes. Let's go out to the waterfront. All right? Take care, everybody. Peace, and may God continue to bless you. And remember, feel the power of XXI Christian Media.
Hi, this is Lady T, urban gospel artist from Jackson, Mississippi. You're listening to Positive Power XXI Christian Radio on Spreaker Radio and Facebook Live. So keep it locked.
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of Double XI.
Positive Power 21.org. Internet radio.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide.
That's right, you tell them, Davidson. You listen to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide on Positive Power, Double XI, Christian Media. Good night, everybody.
Now we're here to encourage you to walk into your new season, a season of freedom and a season of victory. Here it is. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. Adrian, won't you help me sing it? By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. We're gonna sing that again. By the hand
of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete.
Now I'm
walking in victory.
Oh, I think you got it now. Come on, lift it up. By the hand, I've been set free. Oh, now I'm walking in victory. Oh, said I'm walking in victory. Said I'm walking in victory. Walking in victory. You're my joy back. Oh, I'm walking in victory. Said I'm walking in victory. I'm walking in victory. Get my peace back. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed and delivered. Now I'm walking in victory. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free. Now I'm walking. in victory. Oh, said I'm walking in victory. Yes, I'm walking in